We practiced this yesterday. You should pull out your notes.
Pencil.
Least common multiple, yes. Okay. So you should be doing this in class, kid. I'll be passing out a new set of notes here in just a sec. LCM. You were here yesterday? You were here yesterday, right?
What's a C?
Okay, so then we'll need to make sure we get the notes. And then at recess, we'll get you caught up. Okay. Basically, what's the smallest number you can get to? 8 and 12. Count up by 8, count by 12, what's the smallest number you get to? Could you give the other one to Sophie? So while he's gone, can you sit here, please? Here with me.
He didn't forget me.
All right. Put towards us, what you got? I haven't pulled it up on my iPad yet, so. All right, so I appreciate the kiddos that skip counted and showed their work like we practiced, where you listed out the multiples of 8 and you listed out the multiple of 12. Some of you, I think, just assumed that you could just multiply them together because we did that a little bit yesterday. But the only time you can actually multiply them together and you know for sure is if the numbers are right next to each other on the number line. Are 8 and 12 right next to each other on the number line, or are they just close to each other? They're close. And just because they're close does not mean that you can just multiply them and get your LCM. Okay. In 6th grade, you'll be finding the LCM of stuff that looks like this. That's where we're going next year. But you guys, you don't need to make those extra sounds. It's not acceptable. Okay? Anyway, so that's what we're doing. So let's do one more. We need to be able to do the LCM in order to, do stuff with our fractions when they're, or add, subtract, or fractions when the denominators are different. So let's go with 8 and 6. What's the least common multiple of 8 and 6? Use what we practiced before. Okay? Oh shoot, that's the one that's in the notes. Never mind, let's try something different. Let's go with 8 and 10. Let's go with 8 and 10, that'll work better. If you need help, please raise your hand. Okay. So skip down by 8, skip down by 10. What's the number you get? What's the first number you get that's the same between both? You guys will need to come in sometime together probably and get caught up. Where's up? Some of you might get to the point where you're able to do this in your head. But anyway, here's the strategy. I'm going to take the strategy we talked about earlier and expand on it just a little bit for you. Which of these numbers is bigger? Class? 10. Okay, so I'm going to skip count by 10. And this is going to save me. If you know your multiplication path, you actually aren't going to have to do number 8. And remember, I want your iPad flat on your desk. That's the expectation, please. Okay, so I'm going to skip count by 10. First off, can I count by 8 and get to the number 10? Can I go from 8 and get to 10, class? No. Okay, so let's go to 20. Can I count by 8 and get to 20, class? No. Can't do 8 times anything and get to 20. Next one is 30. Can I count by 8 by anything and get to 30, class? No. What about, let's go to the next multiple. What's the next multiple of 10 after that? Audrey? 40. Can I count by 8 and get to 40, class?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. So therefore, our greatest common factor is 40. Yes?
Do you have a charger? Because my iPad's on low battery.
Yeah, no matter.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So in your table of contents right now, this is what I want you to write. Because I'm realizing I forgot how to do that the last two ones. Okay?
Thank you.
Yep. Make sure I get it back. Okay. Make sure you put it in there. Because that's really, ultimately what our objective is today, is we're going to be adding subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. But I want you to put just adding and subtracting fractions in there. Now, and then I want you to look at the page number. What page did you put your adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators? What page did you put that on? You should have glued that in there already. What page did you put that in there? So for example, I'm looking at Julian's, and he has 22. So in his table of contents for adding and subtracting fractions, what page is he going to put in his table of contents, class? 22. He's going to put 22. That's what he's going to do. Now you guys might have a different page number. But you're adding and subtracting fractions. We are not going to put anything in our table of contents for LCM or adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. It's just going to be our adding and subtracting fractions section. So wherever that is in your notes, which you should have glued it in already, that's the fifth page that you're going to have for it. Are you okay? You've been gone 10 minutes. Tyler, what page is yours in your table of contents?
11.
Sophie, what page is yours? 16. Cheyenne, what page is yours?
15.
What page is yours?
32.
What page is yours?
16.
Okay, just kind of doing a random check here. All right, so you need to make sure you have a space where you have a flat place to fold your foldable. We're going to be doing another foldable for this unit. Okay, we've got two more foldables for the unit. This one and then working with mixed numbers, which is a pretty easy fold. It's just a fold in half kind of thing. So, eyes on me, please. This is what it's eventually going to look like. It's going to be a rectangle. Okay? But I need you to have your paper right now. This is how it should be on your desk. This way on this side up on your desk. Okay? This way up on your desk. You should have a space to fold it. If you have anything else on your desk that is getting in the way of you having a space to fold this, you should probably put it on your shelf. Please. This should be on your desk, flat, facing up, so then you have this as a reference point for yourself. Okay. That's right. Right in here when I passed them out. Yep. So again, should you have it saying where it says unlike denominators, or should you have it like this? Should have it like this. Look at your partner, see if they have it the same way. Okay. So now, hands on your lap, eyes on me. We're not folding this with me. Okay, we're going to do first, we're going to do one of those like half folds that we do sometimes. Okay, and I have it like this, and I'm going to fold it down. And this side, the left side, that's the side where you're going to make just a tiny, teeny, weeny little fold. If you fold all the way across, it's going to make it harder for you to fold. Jeff, eyes on me, please. Not on your lap. Okay, you should not have anything in your hands. Okay, next. Unfold it again. Again, you're not messing with your paper. You're paying attention to me. Okay, next, you're going to fold it in half. And we'll go almost all the way up, but we just need it somewhat folded in half. So you have this, so like this. Then we're going to unfold it again. Now we're going to start doing the diagonal folds. Okay, I'm going to take this corner, this top corner, and I'm going to fold it over so it's touching that first little line that we made, that little first little line. Brianna, eyes on me, please. Okay, then where I started making that half fold, now I'm going to make sure it goes all, Brianna, eyes on me. I'm going to fold so this flat side goes flat over here, so then it's going to look like this. See how those two flat sides are right next to each other? Okay, and then all I have to do, where this triangle point is, this vertex for the triangle, I just fold it over so then the whole shape is a rectangle. All right, we're going to do this all together. Please don't go ahead. Every time there's at least one or two people that go ahead and they're not going with me. So everybody should have this flat on their desk ready to go, nothing else on top of it. Okay. I didn't need to give you one because you already have it. All right. So this is that first fold where I am going to fold it over and only crease on my left side. Just that little bit on the left side. Make sure you fold it all the way in half. Okay, you're just folding it down. Fold it towards you. Okay, open it up real quick. Stop. There's some of you that are turning it. Watch me. I am not turning it when I fold it. Okay, it's going like this, and I'm folding it down. Just a little crease here on the right side. You guys have been doing this for a while. Okay, should be able to do it. Yes. Okay. And then unfold it again. All right. Should see that everybody has that fold on the left side. All right, now we're going to take it and we're going to fold it in half about 3/4 of the way up. Okay. And then unfold it again. You should have two folds at this point. Some of you are turning your paper. Don't turn it. You have it like this, and then fold it in half. Brianna, turn it around. Now fold it in half like this. There you go. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so you see how I have it now unfolded. All right. So now I want you to touch where these dots are that are right above where it says LCD. Touch those dots, please. Look at your partner, make sure they're touching those dots. Now I appreciate the kids that have followed my instructions where you've given yourself a flat place to fold and don't have a bunch of junk on your desk. And then touch that line that you made, that first line that we made. Okay? Now you're going to come over and you are going to make those two touch. And make a fold. And your paper is going to look like this. Okay, looks like everybody's got it, great. Now you're gonna fold along that half fold that you have, the up and down fold, and go like this. And then you can fold the top down as well. This is what it should look like once you've done all that. Stop, you already have a crease right there. Fold it along this crease. You can do it. So fold it on your desk. You're doing it on the edge of your desk. Fold it flat on your desk. Yep, doing it. Yeah, then fold the flap down. Does it look like that? Should, if you've done it all the way, you should be ending up with a rectangle. Should fold that flap down and make a rectangle. And then get this put into your nose real quick. Yep. Close enough. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do this. You're at this point be able to get some glue it in real quick. Five, four, three. If you're not done by the time we get to one, you're gonna have to glue it in later. Two, one. What you're doing, hands in your lap, eyes on me, please. Okay, so what does unlike mean? What's the word unlike mean? In your own words, what's the word unlike mean? Appreciate the kids that aren't raising their hands, that are following my instructions. Thank you. So what's unlike mean? Class? Different, unlike, not equal to each other, right. So before we can add and subtract fractions, hands in your lap. Before you can add and subtract fractions, the denominators have to be the same. What has to be the same before you can add and subtract fractions, class? Now, I want you to stand up, talk with your color group. We don't know what to talk about yet, so just stand up with your color group. On a fraction, where is the denominator? What question did I ask? Okay, go. Where's it at? Class? On the bottom. That's right, it's on the bottom. Please sit down. Okay. Hands in your lap, eyes on me, please. So let's look at our proficiency scale. Vocabulary: numerator, denominator, fraction, mixed number, improper fraction. All that we should be good to go. Brianna? No. Eyes on me. Student can add and subtract fractions with like denominators. Should be able to do that. Student can add and subtract mixed numbers with like denominators. We haven't got to that. We will get to that in our next few days. Okay, score 3. Student can add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators. That's where we're at right now. Okay, this is what we're doing. Adding, subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. Okay, so real quick though, we have some vocabulary words here. The word equivalent. What does the word equivalent mean? Kind of look at what the word sounds like. What does the word equivalent mean? What question did I ask? Abraham.
What does the word equivalent mean?
Yeah, what does the word equivalent mean? Class?
Equal.
Equal, that's right. So if you need to write in your notes, if you need to write equal, go for it. Okay, so this is that first part of your notes. Go ahead, write that in, please. Okay, well, maybe look on the floor, see if there's a pencil around here somewhere. Do you have a pen? You can use a pen too. You don't have anything in there, nothing in here to write with? I see a pencil here, I see a... Okay. All right, well, yeah. just a reminder, if you're not able to get to the notes for some reason, everything is in Schoology. All the links are there to get to these notes in Schoology. Okay? Next one. Open it up. So we're going to find the least common denominator of 2 and 3. So you notice we're doing 1/3 plus 1/2. You can't say that's equal to 1/5. You can't just add the denominators because the denominators are not the what, class?
Same.
So what is the least common denominator, or least common multiple? Least common multiple, least common denominator are the exact same thing. It just happens to be that the least common denominator is those numbers at the bottom of the fraction. So if I was asking you to find the least common multiple of 3 and 2, what is it? They're right next to each other on the number line, so what's the least common multiple of 3 and 2? Class? 6. That's right. So, we come here and we know what the LCD is, 6. If you need to remind yourself that LCD is the same as LCM, go ahead and do that. Okay, make sure this gets put in your notes, please. So basically, we're going to be making equivalent fractions. Fractions that are the same, that means they have the same amount of stuff, but they're going to happen to have the same denominator. That's what we're trying to do. This whole process of what we're working on today is to take those denominators that are different and change them into denominators that are the same. When we change the denominator, then we're also going to have to change the numerator. That's what we do to the bottom, we do to the top. Absolutely. All right. Next part. Decide what to do with the numbers. Hands in your lap, eyes on me. Okay? Let's talk through what all this stuff means. There's a lot of stuff here. So remember, we had 1/3 plus 1/2. Now we need to, and we said the lowest common denominator of 1/3 and 1/2 was a 6. Was a 6. Okay? So I need to, what I do at the bottom, so in order to go from 3 to 6, what do I need to multiply 3 by? Class? 2. And what I do to the bottom, I do to the what, class? Top. So I'm doing 1 times 2, which is 2. 3 times 2, which is 6. Okay, so I've got my denominator 6. Over here, eyes on me, please. Our denominator was 2. What I multiply 2 by to get to 6, because our lowest common denominator is 6. What do you multiply 2 by to get to 6? Girls? 3. And since I didn't multiply the denominator by 3, I have to multiply the numerator by what? Boys?
3.
3. Good job. So now, instead of 1/3 plus 1/2, I have 2 6 plus what, class? 3 6, and that equals 5 6. Okay? So we add the numerators. Do not add the denominators. Do not tell me this is 5/12. We practiced that, 2 days ago. So go ahead, write this in your notes, please. Very loud. While you're writing your notes, just a reminder that since we're at the end of the quarter, we're getting close to being done. So that means that if you wanted to fix any of your assessments, your unit tests, you need to come and talk with me soon. If you don't fix them by the end of the quarter, then of course that's not gonna help you. There's not a whole lot of you that are doing that. See? So that's really the only way to really bring up your grade is to fix your test. Fix the assignments, that's fine. I'll bring it up a little bit, but the test will bring it up a lot. So if you're not happy with your grade, you need to fix your test. In order to fix your test, you need to come talk with me. If you fix your test and you don't come talk with me, I won't accept that fix, even if you did better. Because that's my policy. You have to come talk with me first. All right, so we talked about adding fractions with unlike denominators. What's the other thing we have to do? Class?
Subtract.
Subtract, right, we're subtracting. Okay, so we've got 7/3 minus 2/9. Some kids might want to say, oh, well, 7 minus 2 is 5, and 3 minus 9 is 6, even though 3 minus 9 is actually negative 6. Can we just go subtract straight across when the denominators are different? Can we do that, class? No, we can't. Okay. So we have to find our lowest common denominator between 1/3 and 1/9. Well, let's count. We count by 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12. Count by 9s, 9, 18, 27. What's the lowest common denominator between 1/3 and 1/9? Class? 9. Okay? Now, if you chose to use another multiple of them, it'll still work. You'll just have to simplify further. Okay? So anyway, our LCD, lowest common denominator, is 9. So real quick, do I need to change 2/9 at all? You don't, because the denominator is already what, class? Yeah, the denominator is already 9, guys. Okay. So, I had to write this in because it wasn't, the notes wasn't there. So anyway, so we're going to convert, why do I have 7? Yeah, 7/3. We're going to convert 7/3 to 21/9, because 3 times 3 is 9, so that's what we got to do. And then 7 times 3 is what, class? So what's 7 times 3, class?
21.
So again, we multiplied this by 3 down here, because in order to get to 9, we had to multiply 3 by 3. And when we do the bottom, we do to the what, class? We're making that equivalent fraction. 7/3 is equal to 21/9. So then we can go ahead and do our subtraction. 21/9 minus 2/9 equals 19/9. But is an improper fraction in simplest form, class? No, we have to do some division to change that. So what is that equal to? 9 goes into 19 how many times? Well, blurt it out. 9 goes into 19 how many times? Think about it. Mason. 2 times, that's right. What is 9 times 2? Yes. So I subtract, and what we have left over is 1/9, so our answer is 2 and 1/9. All right. Get this into your notes, and then we're going to start practicing. Okay. And I'll get class kick ready to go. When you get done with that, there is a problem on class kick. 2 12s plus 1 8. Okay. Okay, she had her hand up first. Yes. There's stuff that's up there that's not in your notes. Please make sure you have it in your notes. A lot of you have forgotten and aren't always simplifying your improper fractions, and I need you to make sure you do it. What's your question? I just answered that question. What's up there is what needs to be in your notes. So if you have you don't have 2:19 as an extra part of your notes, you need to add that to it. Yeah. So if you count by nines, you're gonna get, so if you didn't have that part yet, you're gonna have to go back into your note and there, you can get those all out. You okay with this? Okay, good. Just checking in. Okay, stand up, give us your shape group. What group are you getting with us? Shape group, okay? And please work on this problem with your shape group together. Remember, if you're working with the group, you should all be contributing to it. Shouldn't just be one person telling everybody else how to do the work. That's not how group work works. Okay. Why don't you join with these two? Okay.
So we're going to multiply 12 2 by 3. No, not by 3. 12 2 by 2 to get 4 24. So then 8 and 1 by 3, which you can do that one. 24 by how many? 1, 8 by
Remember how I made a big deal
By,
that you can't
three.
add to denominators? Then why would you do that? You cannot just add the numerators until you denominate the same, right? All right, find your seats, please. I saw what I needed to see. Okay. Find your seats. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I only saw a couple of you that just added straight across. It's only that was 3/20. Remember, you can't add until the add or subtract fractions unless the denominators are the same. So, I also found that a lot of you figured out that the lowest common denominator is what, class? 24. So that's half the battle, just figuring out what that lowest common denominator is. Okay? But now, my suggestion to you is to always write it like I am, where I'm writing it below it, just so that you don't get confused with what you did to what. I'm also seeing a lot of you on your iPad right now. Turn your screens off, eyes are here, please. Didn't say to flip it over, just turn your screen off so I know you're paying attention to what I'm doing. Again, I didn't say to flip your screen over. I just said that and you flipped it over, man. Come on. Okay. So, what did you multiply 12 by to get to 24? Think about that. What do you multiply 12 by to get to 24? Matthew.
12.
12 times 12 is 144.
It's 2.
2. So I'm gonna show on this side multiplying by 2. So what I multiply by on the bottom, I need to do on the what, class? The top. So what is 2 times 2? Class? 4. Okay. So now let's go over to this next one. What do you multiply? Think about what do you multiply 8 by? 8 by to get to 24. 8 times 1 is 24. And 8 times 2 is 16. Okay, but we're on this one now. You were talking, we just got done talking about this one. We're on 8, and the question was 8 times what is 24, and you said 2 times 12. That's not what I asked. I asked 8 times what is 24. 3, good job. So, what am I going to multiply the numerator by now? Brianna? If I multiply the denominator by 3, what do I multiply the numerator by? 3, good job. And 1 times 3 is 3. Now let's take a look at the two fractions we have now. They're equivalent fractions to our original problem. 24 24ths plus 3 24ths. Can you add those together now, and why? Can you add them together, and why? Daniela, can we add them together? Why? Think about what do we have to have happen before you can add or subtract fractions? That's right. Are the denominators the same? Yes, they are. So now we can add straight across. 7 24ths. Did I add the denominators together, Jeff? I did. So 24 plus 24 is 24. And put that away. You don't need it right now. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Jeff, is 24 plus 24 24? No. So do we add the denominators together, Jeff? No, we don't. The numerators, do we add the numerators together? Class? Yes, we do. What are the three divisibility rules that we are going to test 7 and 24 by to see if we can simplify the fraction? What are they? Class? 2, 3, and 5. Can we divide them both by 2, class? Can I divide them both by 3, class? Can I divide them both by 5, class? No, so chances are this fraction is in simplest form. All right, let's do another one. Two 6 plus 5 8. You're with your number group. What group are you getting with, class? Number group. To work on this, I'll leave my work up here so that you can see how to do it. There's a reminder how to do it. If you weren't this group, then you should be talking with Helix too. Okay? What group? 2. 2. If you're a 2, you should be over here. Okay? So, you're talking here with Helix. Okay? You're working together, you two girls right here. Okay? And they're not touching anything here, but you're working with this group. So you should be together, working together. You guys should be holding your iPad. Boys and girls, remember, you're not resting your iPads on anything. You're holding them. Okay? You're standing in a circle and talking together. So again, you cannot add them until the denominators are the same. You cannot just put 7 across the top. Look at what I did. I don't even have anything. I didn't even add it all until I found the equivalent fraction. Okay?
24.
In this case, mine has the exact same thing. We're not even all talking.
4.
Hide a seat, please. Hide your seat, please. Just a reminder that you receive daily credit for the in-class work that you do. So if I see that you're working in a group, which I did assign you to work in a group, and I feel that you're not working with your group, either you are excluding somebody else, that means stop doing that with your eraser, put it up top. If that means that you, off your iPads, eyes on me. So if you are working with a group and you're not working with the group, or I see that, then you're going to lose points for that day. Or if you are part of a group and you are making it so somebody else in your group is not part of the group, like for example, you and one other person in your group are working together, but you're completely ignoring the other person, the third person in your group, you might lose points for the day. If you're working, if you're assigned to be in a group, you're expected to all be working together. I get that you all don't get along, but you gotta work with people that you don't get along with. I don't get along with everybody in the school. I get along with most, but not everybody. But I still have to work, I still have to help, I still have to do my job. Your job is to be a student. Sometimes that means working in a group with people that are not your friends. It's okay. All right. So looking at this problem, remember, you're Mike, dude. Okay, what is the lowest common denominator of 6 and 8? What's the lowest common denominator of a 6 and an 8? Some of you started to not answer that question, and you just said, you know what, I know the denominators need to be the same, but you just added across the top. You can't do that. You have to make your equivalent fractions first. So, what's our lowest common denominator here? Damien. So the smallest number you can get counting by both 6 and 8 is 2. Show me how to count by 6s and get to 2. Okay, show me how to count by 8s and get to 2. Okay, so is the lowest common denominator 2? No, it's not. Remember, lowest common denominator, lowest common multiple, the process of getting them are the exact same thing. Brianna, I'm talking. You should not be talking with her. Okay? All right. So what is the lowest common denominator between an 8 and a 6? What is that? Eric. 24. Can we count by 6s and get to 24? Absolutely. 6 times 4. Can we count by 8s and get to 24? Absolutely. 8 times 3 is 24. That all works out. So our denominator is 24. Again, notice how we're getting our denominator first before we do anything else. It's okay that some of you aren't getting this right away. You've not added or subtracted fractions with unlike denominators before today. Most of you have not. Okay? So it's not 4th grade or below skill. So what do I multiply 6 by to get to 24? But one thing you do have to know is your multiplication facts in order to be good at this. If you're a kid that doesn't know the multiplication facts, this isn't going to work out. So 6 times what is 24? Matthew? What?
4.
4. So when I do the bottom, I do to the top. What's 2 times 4? Stop being on your iPad, Julian. I said that earlier, right? So I'm not sure why it's any different, especially with you sitting right in front row. 2 times 4 is 8. What do I multiply 8 by to get to 24? 8 times what is 24? Abraham? 3. Okay. So we do the bottom, plus we do the top. 5 times 3. Bailey? 15. So we got 15 here. Now we can add them straight across. Jet, I'm not sure what's on your fingers, but you need to look at what I'm doing. You're gonna miss things. So, 24 plus 24, do I do that, class? Some of you were. Let's keep it at 24. What is 8 plus 15?
Is that in simplest form already? You betcha. All right. Monday. That's not me. Monday, we'll continue working on this. Probably Tuesday, we'll get an assignment on this. Okay? Then we'll get into mixed numbers, then we'll have an assessment, probably by the end of the week. The goal is to have the test a week from today. Okay? That's the goal. That test will go on quarter 3. All right, let's get ourselves cleaned up really quick.